Hey guys, Richard at Ride and Zoom here, doing my latest video in the shed. Here are the ferrets. They were a bit wild for my new coat, and the old coat I've just given up. They're to be playing with non-stops. They love climbing into anything, you know, pockets, sleeves, etc. Please glare off that lamp's trying to get a better angle. There, that'll do. Okay, so on to it. So this is for the new Series 2 episode 3? Yes, episode 3 review. Because it's been the modern day one. Normally that's not the earliest episode. It's always it's always the first episode or a bit later, not the third one. But yeah, episode 3, school reunion. So plot of this episode is Mickey has basically asked the Doctor and Rose to come to their old school because they just like some weird stuff's going on. All the kids are super intelligent, and he's a prick. He has a Star Wars-esque, has a bad feeling about this. So yeah, he basically sends them there, and sure enough, all the kids have become super intelligent. All the various teachers have been replaced just like that, and something is going on alright, effectively. An alien race called the Krillitane are boosting kids' intelligence for their own ends to effectively unravel the building blocks of the universe and pretty much change all of reality. And yeah, the plot is, do they let this happen or not? So straight to it, basically. The leader of the Krillitane, they're this like vampire bat species played by Anthony Head. It's absolutely awesome. Because him and the Doctor square off. They just have some great scenes filled with tension where they're just talking to each other, and it's amazing down this bit by the side of the swimming pool. And of course, the great fact of the Krillitane is they know about the Time Lords. They also know all the Time Lords are gone, and they're quite surprised that like how different the Doctor is. Seeing the Time Lords are famous for just not doing anything. They just ignore. Well, they just watch and don't get involved, and he's quite fascinated that the Doctor's nothing like that at all. God, how he reacts to the Master though, and yeah, he's quite fascinated. And yeah, basically they're trying to unravel building blocks of the universe, because what the Krillitane do is they like how we have characteristics of like basically other races like through invasions, wars, etc. The Krillitane literally take body parts in the same way. So the Krillitane didn't have wings, and they did after they invaded a like winged species, and they effectively want the Doctor's help to conquer the universe and just to control everything. And he makes a good argument, and you can see the Doctor is very, very tempted, because he can stop the war, save all the Time Lords from dying, but just stop everything terrible happening, and he has to decide whether he wants to go along with that or not. So yeah, that's the Doctor's mole, and it's quite a good one. And yeah, it's the kids are somehow able to do it probably because they're like imagination as well as the accelerated intelligence, and he just has to decide whether to help them or stop them. The other main plot is the companion from John Pertwee and Tom Baker's third and fourth Doctors eras in the 70s, and Sarah Jane Smith returns. She's an investigative reporter, and she is investigating what's going on at the school, like exactly the same way as the Doctor is. And her and Rose, let's say, don't get off to a good start, and I hated this. Again, you'll notice this more and more. I can't stand what's been done to Rose in this series. I mean, her and the Doctor are just generally really annoying together a lot of the time. But here, she's just, Sarah Jane is kind of as bad to start with, although it's mainly Rose. She's just so bitchy. She's just terrible. Like, Rose also has it in her head that she's the only companion the Doctor's ever had, which is completely insane. So then, that he's 900 years old, and considering how he lets her and others into TARDIS. Of course, the Doctor's like, not travel alone. There's a bit when she's like having to go to the Doctor for just being like that. He's made her the latest in a long line, and he basically says, as opposed to what? And you just see the hurt on his face, and it's like Rose is just convinced that they got this special relationship which no one else ever had, and therefore he must have like been by himself. Like, of course, the Doctor's like travelled with other people. It's like, it doesn't take a genius to see that. And yeah, along with her, and like having to go at Sarah, and like having to go at her because she's like older. Although Sarah Jane gives as good as she gets back, but it's still a dumb like confrontational like side to each other that you never needed to see. And of course, it's pushing the whole romance thing. And it also suggests that like Tom Baker's fourth Doctor and Sarah Jane had like a hinted romance, and having watched a lot of old Doctor Who, there was never anything like that. There's an episode of a different TV show called what was it called? Death of the Doctor. Basically, Sarah Jane meets Joe Grant, the John Pertwee's third Doctor's companion, and they just get along perfectly. They just reminisce about the good times. There's no jealousy, bitterness. I don't know if it's Rose is young or Rusty Davies wrote this. I don't know if he wrote that episode, but just the way he wrote Rose and she's just terrible. And you just think, God, enough. And yeah, again, it's more Mickey's been treated like a complete doormat. Again, are they a couple or not? I don't know what the hell's going on there. And yeah, although Mickey gets in some good lines, he's like quite clearly notices the similarities between the ex and the girlfriend meeting, which the Doctor's basically ended up in the position of because they don't help themselves by writing the Doctor this way, hinting that Rose and him have got some sort of romantic thing going on, or it's leading to them. And that, likewise, that was Sarah Jane. But Mickey gets some good lines. He helps stop the villains and asks to go along the end. And again, Rose is mad that he wants to be there, which makes no sense at all. And again, another reason to hate Rose. So I felt like no one ever asked RTD like why he wrote Rose this way in series 2, and it's like, but it will probably never come up. But yeah, not a big fan of it at all. But yeah, Mickey asks if he can finally travel about a year after he originally was offered by a doctor but said no, and the doctor actually thinks, yeah, why not? And he's there at the end, and Sarah, finally moves on. It's good moments with her. Effectively, it's the thing that's kind of hit the show, the companions a lot, how they go back to normal life after travelling with the doctor, and it's not easy. But you've got K9 from the original series, so obviously K9 didn't leave with Sarah in Old Doctor Who, but he left with Romana in Peter Davison's era, I think it was. But yeah, I looked this up earlier. It seems that there was like a cancelled show or a show that never got launched, but basically had Sarah being given K9, and K9 basically sacrificed himself to defeat the villains, but the Doctor rebuilds him because he keeps his old memory chips in place and everything. So he's like K9 Mark IV. So yeah, it's a good episode. I remember this one actually exactly 10 years ago. I watched this. That's when my mum and sister visited me. So yeah, I've got good memories of that episode solely for that reason, because it was the next day, because I was doing daily Doctor Who then, like I am now. I remember that one for that reason. So just watching my ferrets in the coat. All love to get into a gap and play, and they just randomly fight each other. It's all harmless enough, even if it looks quite nasty. So yeah, that's it for School Union. Good episode, but it's not one I really go back to that often. Not a bad one or anything, but it's just overall not that good. And so next episode, tomorrow's episode, The Girl in the Fireplace. Now, this is an episode that a lot of people love. Some people put this as like the greatest episode of all time. I honestly find this one very overrated. Good, but not as good as everyone thinks it is. But we'll see. I'll go into more detail on that. So yeah, maybe tomorrow I'll actually do my review in my in the room, or with Doctor Reports in the background. Who knows? Oh, random thing for today. I bought the Xbox Series X earlier, so expect to be playing a lot of that over the next few weeks, months, years, etc. So yeah, till then, bye.